Okay, so this next section 2.6, we are dealing with linear inequalities. So remember, inequalities are your alligator symbols, right? So you have less than, equal to, greater than equal to, right? So those are your alligator symbols, okay? So here we have four graphs, and each of the graphs we need to write down in interval notation and inequality notation. I just talked about inequality, which is these alligator symbols, okay? Interval notation is dealing with brackets and parentheses. So if you have parentheses, that tells us that the endpoints are not included, okay? If you have brackets, okay, if you have brackets, that means the endpoints are included. Okay, so parentheses means the endpoints are not included, and brackets mean the endpoints are included. Okay, so let's first do this in interval notation. So for the first one here, so let's label this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for the first one here, where am I starting? Again, we want to do interval notation first. Where am I starting on the first one? 1, right? I'm starting at 1. And where am I going? Where is it going? To the right. What does the arrow indicate? It goes what? To the right what? Not greater, infinity, right? It goes to infinity. And the arrow indicates it goes on forever. You're right, to the right, but forever to infinity. Okay? So we're going to have infinity there. Okay? All right. So for 1, I have an open circle. Am I going to have a parenthesis over a bracket? Is the endpoint included or not included? Not included, right? So that means it's a parenthesis. All right. So it's an open circle. It means it's not filled in. So it's an open circle. So it's going to be just a parenthesis. And then for infinity, we always put parentheses, right? We don't know much about infinity. We always put parentheses for infinity, positive or negative infinity. Okay. All right. What about the second one here? Where does it start at? Where is it going? Where is it going? Remember, I'm doing interval left, right? So this way, right? So where is that direction? Going where? What? Infinite. Good. Okay. So this is going to be negative infinity. Okay. Again, it's infinity or negative infinity. I put a parentheses there and going to -2. Okay. For -2, that will be a bracket because it's filled in. Okay. All right. For the third one, okay. For the third one, um, we have what? -2, that is open circle. So I'm going to have a parenthesis there, and it goes up to 2, which is a closed circle. So I'll have bracket there. Okay. All right. I'm running out of time here. For the last one here, right? This is going to negative infinity. and up to -1, and that's it's a closed circle, so it's a bracket. Okay. A lot of times you in the book it might have this symbol, which is union. Okay, that just means union with 3. So 3 is an open circle. So that is a parenthesis going to infinity, parenthesis. Okay. So that's in interval notation. Now if I do it in inequality, okay, or inequality, part B, all right. Inequality, we have 1 to infinity. So to describe that, we just say x is greater than 1. All right, because it has to be bigger than 1. It can't equal to 1, but it has to be bigger than 1. This one here is -infinity to -2. So we can say any number that is x is less than or equal to -2. Right? That's how you describe the inequality there. For this one, it's going to be between, x is going to be between them. So that's going to be -2, x less than or equal to 2. Okay? So that's how you would translate that to inequality. And then for this one, it would be what we have here. X is less than or equal to -1, right? Because it's less than or -1. It's a bracket there. So, right, so that means the endpoint is included. And then union, okay, 3 to infinity. So that will just be x is greater than 3. All right. In fact, I would say or x is greater than 3. There you go. That's much better. So that's our answer there.